Have you ever said, I want to speak English, but I'll start tomorrow? And tomorrow becomes a week. A week becomes a month. And suddenly, it's been a year, and you whisper to yourself, maybe I'm just lazy. But what if you're not? What if you're scared? In this video, we're going to go deep, because what you call laziness may actually be something else, something tender, something painful, something your brain is trying to protect you from. Let's go to the root. Chapter 1. The Face of Procrastination. Meet Anaya. She's 26. Every night she says to herself, tomorrow I will study English seriously. I will practice speaking. I will finally change. She writes the plan. She sets the alarm. She even chooses the YouTube video she watch and repeat. But tomorrow comes, and instead of learning, she scrolls. She reorganizes her room. She cleans her desk. She avoids. And at night, she feels guilty. What's wrong with me? She thinks, why can't I just do it? I must be lazy. Sound familiar? If you see yourself in Anaya, you're not alone, but you are also not lazy. Because real laziness doesn't feel this painful. Laziness doesn't cry at night. Laziness doesn't feel guilt, shame, or dreams. What you're experiencing is not laziness. It's psychological fear. Chapter 2. Laziness versus procrastination. What's the difference? Let's get something clear. Laziness is a lack of desire. You don't care. You don't want it. Procrastination is a deep desire, blocked by fear. People who procrastinate usually care a lot, so much that the fear of failing, of not being good enough, of looking foolish, becomes too heavy to carry. And so the brain chooses what's easier. Let's just do it tomorrow. This is not weakness. This is your brain protecting you from what it believes is emotional danger. Chapter 3. What's hiding underneath procrastination? Let's dig deeper. Why would learning English, something so powerful and exciting, trigger emotional danger? Because it's not just about grammar. It's about identity, confidence, and your sense of worth. When you try to speak English and you make a mistake, your brain doesn't say, oops, I'll try again. Instead, it screams, you're embarrassing yourself. People will laugh, stop, hide. This fear lives in a part of the brain called the amygdala, your emotional alarm system. It doesn't understand English lessons. It only understands survival. And when the fear of judgment, failure, or not being perfect is high, the amygdala says, danger, stop. So you procrastinate? This is not a language problem. This is a nervous system problem. Chapter 4. The Protective Brain. How your mind is trying to help you. Here's the twist. Your brain is not sabotaging you. It's protecting you from shame, failure, rejection. Let's say you once spoke English and someone laughed. Maybe it was in school. Maybe it was your teacher. Maybe it was someone on the internet. That moment gets stored in your memory, not just as a thought, but as an emotional wound. So now, when you try again, your brain says, no, remember what happened last time? Let's just avoid it. This is called emotional avoidance, a defense mechanism where you protect your heart by avoiding the thing that once hurt it. So when you delay English practice, it's not laziness. It's your brain saying, let's not feel that pain again. Chapter 5. Fear of failure, the invisible barrier. One of the most common hidden fears behind English learning procrastination is the fear of failure. You may think, what if I try hard and still can't speak? What if people think I'm stupid? What if I study for 6 months and nothing changes? This fear is so painful that doing nothing feels safer. Because if you don't try, you can't fail. But here's the secret. Not trying is a kind of failure, just slower and more painful. And here's another secret. Trying, making mistakes, and learning from them is how every fluent speaker got where they are today. Even native speakers mess up, but they keep going. Chapter 6. The Childhood Link, where the fear began. Many of our emotional reactions to learning come from our early years. If you were criticized for mistakes, if you were compared to others, if you were punished or laughed at for trying, then your mind learned. Mistakes equals danger. Even today, as an adult, your body remembers that fear. You feel anxiety when trying something new. You feel pressure to be perfect. You avoid, not because you're lazy, but because you're carrying an invisible wound. Healing that wound takes time. But the first step is awareness. Right now, you're already healing just by understanding. Chapter 7. Why you avoid what you want most. Let me ask you something powerful. Why do we avoid the things we love most? English fluency means confidence, freedom, success, travel, self-expression. And yet, you avoid it. Why? Because what we want most carries our deepest fear of failure. If you don't care about something, failing doesn't hurt. But when it matters deeply, it's terrifying to fail. So you protect yourself by avoiding it. That's why your brain says, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll wait until I'm ready. Maybe next week will be better. But deep down, you're scared. And that's okay. Because now we know. Chapter 8. You're not lazy, you're just hurt. Let's pause and take a deep breath. Close your eyes for a moment and repeat this in your mind. I am not lazy. I am scared, and that's okay. I am healing. And I am allowed to grow slowly. Shame is heavy. It whispers lies. You're a failure. You're not trying hard enough. You'll never make it. But truth is gentle. And the truth is, you're doing your best with the emotional tools you have. And now, you're gaining new tools. The fact that you're here watching this video means you care. And caring is the first step to change. Final chapter, the beginning of your healing journey. In the next part, we will go even deeper. We'll meet the voice in your head, the inner critic, and discover how it feeds perfectionism and fear. We'll learn why you say, I must be perfect before you even speak. And we'll uncover how to break the perfectionism procrastination cycle using psychology. But for now, I want you to remember, you're not lazy. You're scared. And fear can be transformed, not by punishment, but by understanding. So speak kindly to yourself. You're not broken. You're becoming. Ending message. Tell me in the comments. What's one thing you've been delaying in your English journey, and how does fear play a role? Part 2 is coming next. The inner critic and the perfectionism trap. Make sure to subscribe and click the bell. We're going deeper into the psychology of language, fear, and self-worth. And remember, you are not lazy. You are healing. Part 2, the inner critic and the perfectionism trap. Short recap. In part 1, we uncovered a powerful truth. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You're simply protecting yourself from fear, judgment, and emotional pain. But now it's time to go even deeper. Because there's a voice inside you that whispers, you're not good enough. Your English must be perfect. People will laugh at you. That voice is not your enemy. It's your inner critic, and today, we're going to meet it face to face. Chapter 1. The voice in your head. Close your eyes for a second and listen. What do you hear when you're about to speak English? Maybe it says, don't say anything, you'll sound stupid. Your pronunciation is bad. Everyone is better than you. You're not ready yet. This voice might sound like your own, but it was built over years by past experiences, teachers, parents, society, and painful memories. It's your inner critic, the part of your mind that tries to protect you by keeping you small. It believes, if I criticize you first, others won't hurt you. But this protection, it becomes a prison. Chapter 2, How the Inner Critic is Born. Let's go back to childhood. Imagine you were in school. You raised your hand to speak English, and the class laughed. Or maybe the teacher corrected you harshly. Or someone said, "You can't even speak properly." Your brain recorded that pain. Not just the event, but the emotion. Now, as an adult, when you try to speak again, that inner critic jumps in. Stop, don't speak. Stay quiet, be safe. It doesn't want to hurt you. It wants to protect you, using the only tool it knows, self-criticism. But instead of helping, it makes you afraid of trying. And you begin to believe its lies. Chapter 3, Perfectionism, the Mask of Fear. Now let's talk about a dangerous trap, perfectionism. Many English learners say, "I'll speak when I'm fluent. I'll start when I can speak perfectly. If I can't say it right, I won't say anything." This sounds like high standards, but really, it's fear wearing a mask. Perfectionism equals fear of mistakes plus fear of judgment plus need for control. And here's the truth. No one ever learned English fluently without making mistakes. Trying to be perfect from the beginning is like expecting to run before you've learned to walk. It's not fair to yourself. It's not how the brain learns. And it's not how confidence grows. Chapter 4, The Perfectionism Procrastination Cycle. Here's what happens. 1. You set a perfect plan. I'll speak for 1 hour every day. 2. You miss one day. 3. The inner critic screams, "See? You failed." 4. You feel ashamed. 5. So you stop trying. 6. And you procrastinate again. 7. And the cycle continues. This is not laziness. This is emotional burnout from unrealistic pressure. You're not lazy, you're exhausted by your own expectations. The solution? Not harder work, but kinder thinking. Chapter 5, How to Talk Back to Your Inner Critic. It's time to meet your inner critic and answer it with truth. Let's look at a few common thoughts and how to respond. Critic, your English is terrible. Don't speak. You, my English is improving every time I try. Mistakes mean I'm learning. Critic, people will laugh at you. You, I can't control others, but I can grow even if I feel nervous. Critic, you're not smart enough to learn. You, I'm learning every day. Progress is more important than speed. Critic, you sound stupid. You, speaking another language is brave. I'm proud of my effort. Every time you answer the critic with truth, you weaken its power. You're not running from fear, you're retraining your brain. Chapter 6, The Power of Self-Compassion in Language Learning. Now here's something most English learners never hear. You don't need more discipline. You need more compassion. Self-compassion doesn't mean being lazy. It means saying, "I'm doing my best." It's okay to be a beginner. It's okay to learn slowly. I still deserve kindness. Research shows that people who practice self-compassion actually perform better, not worse, because they recover faster from failure. They try again. They don't give up. Beating yourself up doesn't make you stronger. It makes you scared. But self-kindness makes you brave again. Chapter 7, A Real Story, From Perfectionist to Speaker. Let me tell you about Omar. He was a 34-year-old man who studied English for 7 years, grammar, vocabulary, reading, everything. But he never spoke. Why? Because his inner critic told him, "You will make a mistake. People will laugh." So he waited. Then one day, his daughter asked him, "Papa, why don't you ever speak English with me?" Omar cried. He realized that his perfectionism was stealing his future. So he made a promise. I will speak badly, I will speak slowly, but I will speak. And he did. At first, his voice shook. He forgot words. He made grammar mistakes. But guess what? No one laughed. People listened. And after 6 months, he spoke English confidently, not perfectly, but powerfully. Chapter 8: How to Escape the Trap of I Must Be Perfect. Let's break the perfectionism trap together. 1. Set low expectations on purpose. Instead of 1 hour of English, start with 5 minutes. Success builds confidence. Small wins create big change. 2. Celebrate effort, not just results. Say, I tried today. That matters. Progress is not always visible, but it always exists. 3. Allow mistakes as part of success. Make a rule. 3 mistakes a day means I'm growing. Turn mistakes into proof of action. 4. Record yourself weekly. Not to judge, but to see your real growth. You'll be shocked at how far you've come in just 1 month. 5. Be your own encourager. Write a kind message to your future self. Put it on your wall. Read it every day. Chapter 9. Affirmations to silence the inner critic. Repeat after me. Let the words become your truth. My English does not have to be perfect to be powerful. I am allowed to make mistakes and still be respected. Learning is not a race, it's a journey. Every word I speak brings me closer to fluency. I am not my fear. I am my courage. Let these words echo in your heart. You don't have to fight your inner critic. You just have to stop believing it. Final chapter. This is your permission to be imperfect. Dear learner, this is your permission to make mistakes. Learn slowly. Speak with an accent. Repeat the same word 10 times. Forget vocabulary sometimes. And still be proud. Because fluency is not just about speed or perfection. It's about freedom. Freedom to express. Freedom to connect. Freedom to be yourself. And that freedom begins when you stop trying to be perfect. Closing message. Comment below. What does your inner critic say, and what will you say back? Next is part 3. Break the cycle, psychology-based habits to overcome procrastination. In the next part, we'll talk about how to build momentum even when you're scared, the psychology of small habits, and practical steps to stop delaying and start speaking confidently. You don't want to miss this. You're almost free. And remember, perfection is not the goal. Progress is. Part 3. Break the cycle, psychology-based habits to overcome procrastination. Previously, in part 1, we discovered that you're not lazy, your brain is protecting you from fear and shame. In part 2, we met your inner critic and saw how perfectionism blocks your progress. Now, in part 3, it's time to break free. You're going to learn powerful, psychology-based habits to beat procrastination. Speak English with confidence. Build momentum even when you don't feel ready. You don't need motivation. You need a system. Let's build it together. Chapter 1. Why willpower doesn't work. Most learners think, if I had more willpower, I'd be fluent. But here's the truth. Willpower is a limited resource. It runs out, especially when you're tired, stressed, or afraid. Psychology calls this ego depletion. Your brain gets tired of making good choices all day. So when it's time to study English, you say, I'll do it tomorrow. It's not your fault. You're not weak. Your brain is simply tired. The solution? Don't rely on willpower. Build habits instead. Chapter 2. The habit loop that changes everything. All habits, good or bad, follow the same loop. 1. Cue, what triggers you. 2. Routine, the action you take. 3. Reward, the feeling you get afterward. Let's make English part of this loop. Example. Cue, after breakfast. Routine. Listen to a 5-minute English podcast. Reward. Check off a tracker and say, I did it. Small, simple, daily. Repeat this for 21 days and you won't need motivation. Your brain will crave the habit. Chapter 3. Start stupid small. Yes, stupid. Here's the mistake learners make. I'll study 2 hours every day. And then they burn out on day 3. Instead, use the psychology of small wins. Study for just 2 minutes. Speak 1 sentence. Write 3 words. Watch 1 video. It may feel silly, but starting small reduces fear, builds confidence, creates momentum. Psychologists call this the minimum viable action. Do less than you think you should, but do it every day. Consistency greater than intensity. Chapter 4. Use the 5-minute rule to beat procrastination. The next time your brain says, I don't feel like studying, say this, I'll do it for just 5 minutes. That's it. Then set a timer and begin. Why? Because action comes before motivation, not after. Once you start, momentum takes over. Your brain releases dopamine, the motivation chemical, and you feel like continuing. This is called behavioral activation. It's how psychologists treat depression and procrastination. Don't wait to feel ready. Act first, feelings will follow. Chapter 5. Anchor English to existing habits. You don't need to make time for English. Just attach it to something you already do. This is called habit stacking. Here's how. After brushing your teeth, give, say, 3 English sentences aloud. After making tea, listen to 1 English phrase. After checking WhatsApp, write 1 English message. After watching the news, repeat 1 English sentence. Suddenly, English becomes part of your life, not a task you have to do. This makes habits stronger and harder to forget. Chapter 6. Create an identity-based habit. Instead of saying, I want to learn English, say, I am the kind of person who learns English. Why does this matter? Because your brain wants to act in a way that matches your identity. So when you believe, I'm a speaker, I'm a learner, I'm someone who improves daily, your actions follow, your confidence grows, and procrastination fades. This isn't magic, it's neuroscience. You're not just learning English, you're becoming someone new. Chapter 7. Use the English everywhere method. Stop thinking English only happens in study time. Instead, surround yourself with English effortlessly. Here's how. Change your phone language to English. Use English subtitles on Netflix. Follow English creators on YouTube. Write your grocery list in English. Name objects in your house in English. Talk to yourself in English while cleaning. This method is called passive immersion. It keeps your brain learning all day, even when you're busy. You don't need 2 hours. You need 2 seconds repeated 100 times. Chapter 8. Use the mistake tracker technique. Most people track success. You? Track mistakes. Make a small notebook or app list. Each time you forget a word, say something wrong, misspell a sentence, write it down without judgment. This does 2 things. 1. You stop fearing mistakes because now you welcome them. 2. You build your personal English growth map. After 30 days, review your mistake list. You'll realize you're improving, you're braver, you're learning smarter. Mistakes aren't failure. They're proof of courage. Chapter 9. Find a tiny social circle. You don't need a class. You need connection. Find or create a small English circle with 1 language buddy, 1 WhatsApp or Telegram group, One online community. Speak text, share mistakes, ask questions. Even 5 minutes a week can transform your confidence. Why? Because humans learn through connection. Language is social, and your brain is wired for relationship-driven learning. Don't stay silent. Find your voice and let others hear it. Chapter 10. Visualize your future self speaking English. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Now imagine you speaking confidently in English, making friends from other countries, teaching your children in English, working in a job you love, traveling and speaking without fear. Feel it, hear it, smile at it. Psychologists call this mental rehearsal. Your brain doesn't fully know the difference between imagination and reality, so the more you visualize it, the more natural it becomes. Your future self is waiting. Start acting like them today. Chapter 11. The No 0 Days Rule. One of the most powerful habits in psychology is simple. No 0 days. That means do something for English every single day. Even if it's tiny, even if you're tired, even if you feel lazy. Watch one video. Write one word. Speak one sentence. Read one post. A little every day is 100x better than a lot once a week. It keeps your identity strong. It keeps your fear small. And it builds unstoppable momentum. Chapter 12. Understand productive procrastination. Sometimes you avoid English by doing useful things. Cleaning your room. Reading other books. Watching motivational videos. This is called productive procrastination, and it can trick you. You feel busy, but you're avoiding what really matters. Ask yourself, am I doing this to grow or to escape? The goal isn't to be busy. It's to be brave. Chapter 13. Design your environment for success. Your brain responds to cues around you. If your environment says English is important, your actions follow. Here's how to redesign it. Put English sticky notes on the wall. Keep a notebook by your bed. Set your phone wallpaper to an English quote. Place your goals where you can see them daily. Remove distractions from your desk. Make it harder to forget English. Make it easier to begin. Let your space speak your dream. Chapter 14. A reminder you need to hear. If you remember just one thing from this series, let it be this. You don't need to feel confident to start. You become confident by starting. You don't need motivation. You need momentum. You don't need perfection. You need patience. You don't need 10 hours. You need 10 seconds of courage, repeated daily. Final message. You're not lazy, you're becoming. Dear learner, you are not broken. You are becoming. This is the end of the series, but the beginning of your transformation. You've learned why you procrastinate, how to silence your inner critic, and how to build powerful habits that actually work. Now it's your turn. Speak even if your voice shakes. Learn even when it feels slow. Try even when you're scared, because every small action you take whispers to the world. I am ready, I am growing, I am becoming fluent. You're not lazy. You're human. You're healing. You're learning. And one day soon, you'll look back and say, that was the day I stopped waiting. That was the day I began. What's next? Comment below. What's one habit you'll start today? Save this series. Watch it again when you feel stuck. Subscribe and join our English Plus Psychology family. The journey is not over. It's just beginning. You're not alone anymore. Let's walk this road together.